Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in, right? So on today's video, right, we will be speaking about a lot of things, but really the spectacle that is the black gender war, black conflict, black gender conflict, if we don't want to call it a gender war, the black gender conflict or back and forth or black gender dispute, whatever you want to call it, right? And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up right now, right? So we already have the situation with just Pearly things and their conversation. Jason Black commentary about that. I've listened to Obsidian's response to Jason Black. Um, and I just want us to be careful because other communities, and I've said this before, it's one of the things I started saying in the Black Manosphere when I first really let my presence be known, is that other people have conflicts also, right? Gender conflicts also. But there's something about the black gender conflict that is so loud and so toxic, right? Meanwhile, I don't know if our rhetoric is even more toxic oftentimes than what we're actually living, right? Train tracks, train tracks, which leads me to believe many of us are just keyboard warriors and right, keyboard gangsters, and we're using our Twitter fingers to express our anger and rage that our intimate outcomes are in, or are we're not receiving the outcomes in our intimate lives that we want, in our sex lives, in our love lives that we want. But I don't know how many of us are actually walking around with the level of resentment towards the opposite sex on a daily basis and then showing that to the opposite sex, right? Um, we primarily still marry each other when we do get married, um, by far. By the way, as compared to other groups, you'll be surprised, right? I mentioned the Asians often. The Latinos also both have larger interracial rates than interracial marriage rates than the black community. That's for Latina men and Latina women. Indigenous men and women also have larger interracial marriage rates than black people. Obviously, that's when we do get married. So, keep that in mind. Obviously, we already know that black people's marriage rate is like in the trash can. So when we actually do get married, we marry intra-racially more than any other group, right? So that I want us to keep that in mind with the black gender conflict. But I'm mentioning the spectacle because that's what it is. And other groups of people chiming in, particularly to the black gender conflict, it's just there's something um mandingo fightish about it to me, or like um trauma porn, or like snuff porn, or there's something about it, like the people that get off on like listening to Trayvon Martin like screaming in the background when or like the people that get off on watching those videos of cops murdering black people. Like there's something about that, like America's favorite pastime, and like particularly white folks' favorite pastime is like watching black people get harmed. And like what's sexier than watching black people like rip each other apart on social media for your like entertainment, right? um and so I just want us to be mindful of that, right? And I'm saying that also to myself, right? And excuse my background if y'all hear me go in and out a little bit, or I did reset my phone and everything like that, but I am on the road right now, so bear with me. So I want us to be careful not to just be the spectacle for other people because they're having issues with their own women, so they're watching us to get off on like black men putting black women in their place, or black women putting black men in their place because they don't got the ovaries or the balls to do it to their own wife or their own girlfriend or their own mother or father, or they're raging out about their outcomes, but we're the ones who's actually living it, right? So like think Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right? Welcome, suckum robots. The robots are punching each other head off, but we're the ones pressing the buttons, right? And I want us to be careful not to be the avatar, right? Where white men and white women are using black men and black women as their like virtual avatars to beat up on each other, right? I know some of this sounds a little far fetched and a little too lefty and liberal for many of you, but I want us to be careful not to be like the proxy war for the white gender war, right? Or the Asian gender war, or the Latino gender war, right? I want us to make sure not to be their proxy, right? For those of you that know how proxy wars work, by the way, right? So yeah. Another thing. So shout out to Detroit 313. I finally did check out the video. I was a little lost on why you sent it. I was like, okay, maybe I gotta listen in a little bit longer. So I actually started off a little bit earlier, and then I finally got to the part I think that she wanted me to review. So this is the Fight Club, and I'll link it. I didn't actually put it in the description. I'll put it in the description later, and I'll timestamp it. And Angry Man was on there, and a couple of others. I think I might have noticed one or two other people, but Angry Man was on there, and the initial title, I think the title for the video is like, "Would you have a problem with a woman president?" I think was the title, and it might have had Kamala's face, Kamala Harris, Vice President face on there. And so in the video, I guess something happened in a previous stream or video where a young lady, black lady, I think her name is Fantasy Island, she said, the black woman said the N word with the hard ER at the end, and come to find out she has a white boyfriend. And okay, like, she eventually comes on to try to defend herself and say she doesn't like how people are taking this. And I'm like, we took it the way you meant it. We got to be honest. Like, yo, and it does look, black people just need to be honest with themselves. Everything you do is political, including your intimate and sex life. Having sex with a white dude or a white woman, being in an interracial relationship, particularly with white people, right? Your very existence is political in America, right? The fact that we even refer to ourselves as black is political. There's a reason for that. The fact that others refer to you as black is political. There's a reason for that. So like this whole concept of like, like, I don't like the way people are taking it and it's not political. Yeah, it is political. Isn't that what the whole divester and swirler thing is about? Right? And I'm not calling this young lady in particular a divester, but I'm saying, isn't that what it's all about? Like, I want a white man or I want a non-black man, particularly a white man, because I want particular outcomes from my life that only a non-black man, but particularly a white man can give me, right? So like this whole talk of like you being caught out there saying the N-word with a hard ER to your spouse, or maybe, in earshot of your spouse, and then, it being captured and then being played as a highlight reel or something like that. And now you have an issue with it and you don't like how it's being framed. Oh, well, you're a black woman in an interracial relationship with a white man in a racist anti-black country, and you got caught saying the N-word with the hard ER in earshot of that man. And you don't see how this is a problem because what? Oh, I forgot. She said we're in the 21st century. And that means what? Trayvon Martin murder happened in the 21st century. Breonna Taylor happened in the 21st century. Sandra Bland happened in the 21st century. Jordan Russell Davis happened in the 21st century. Michael Brown happened in the 21st century. All of that happened in the 21st century. What are you talking about? Them calling Barack Obama a monkey happened in the 21st century. What are you talking about? All of y'all in y'all swirling divester rhetoric and naming it swirling divesting under that banner happened in the 21st century. What are you talking about? So yes, your sex life and your intimate life and your partnering with a white dude is very political, and it will be critiqued by other black people. Sorry, not sorry. especially when you get caught saying the ER, right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Where do black people get off? Y'all be cracking me up with it. Where do y'all get off thinking that other black people aren't gonna have something to say about your sex life and your intimate life? Especially when you're with a white person, especially after you get caught saying the N-word with a hard ER. What? I know I'm going to be in an interracial relationship in America with the white dude, be online, get caught slipping saying the N-word, and I expect nothing to come of that. What? I don't know what happened to black people. Look, I am not the greatest authority on black history. I am not. I don't know all the philosophers' names. I don't know all the historians' names, the activists' names. I don't know all the books they've written. I don't know all the notable quotes. I don't. But I don't know what happened to black people with this. I'm black in America, but yet I'm not black in America. I don't know where y'all got that from. This I can love who I want to love, and it's not going to be critiqued. I can have sex with who I want to have sex with, and it's not an issue. It's not political. I don't know where y'all get this from. You got to tell me when it wasn't political. That's the question. You got to tell me when what black people did wasn't political. When black people said, when black people thought, when black people felt, when black people bought, black people congregating, who black people vote for, obviously that's political. Y'all gotta tell me when anything black people did, said, thought, felt wasn't political. Somebody. Maybe you living in a different country than Mr. Z is living in. Or in a different dimension, different universe. Right? So to Miss Fantasy Island, I don't know. Right? And it is that serious. Oh yes, it is. It is that serious. I'm not telling you not to be with the white dude you're with. That's not my place. But to think you can be with the white dude in this country, and it doesn't mean anything. I don't know what country you think you're living in. And once again, especially when you get caught saying the N-word with the hard ER on a live stream. What? Sometimes you gotta ask people like, what are you on? Are you living where I'm living? Right? Clearly not. Right? Clearly not. Right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And Oliver the Gray has great timing because I just reached a light where I can actually read this. And Oliver the Gray says, and thank you for the super chat. And Oliver the Gray says, I just want to be happy in this post-racial America, laughing out loud. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Exactly. And I'm going to leave that up for a little while. Exactly. And remember how much every like notable event that happens to or with black people and black individual people, they all of a sudden start copping pleas when it comes to race and want to start going down that lane that Oliver the Gray just mentioned, that post-racial lane. Barack Obama becomes president, we're post-racial. Bill Clinton, why did I all my bills just popped up in my head when I was trying to say Bill Clinton. That's why I started stuttering. Bill Clinton becomes president. Well, excuse me. Bill Clinton plays the saxophone. We're post-racial, right? He doesn't have any adversity. He's not adverse, averse to being in the presence of black people. We're post-racial. I don't know where y'all get this from, right? Everything is post-racial until it's not. Until the white people start white peopling. Shout out to the Roger Report. Until white people remind you who they think you are, or non-whites. Oh, it'd be so sad when a non-white person check you, and that's because you made yourself checkable, right? And I'm not with getting off watching non-black people check black people because black people are too uppity. I don't even like that sentiment. But when you out there thinking everything is safe, oh, what do you think was going to happen? Right? What did you think was going to happen? Right? So to Miss Fantasy Island, yes, they might play that clip forever. That clip might be there forever because you got caught saying the N word with the hard ER on a live stream and you got a white boyfriend. How do you not see what the issue is here? You do see what the issue is here. You just don't like that it's a thing now. Well, it's a thing now, right? You're bad, right? And this is why, and you know, I get it to all the mix and even light skinned brothers and sisters, how the black community might look at y'all suspiciously. And this is why, by the way, not saying that there's not dark skinned black people and you know that look at this ass clown that just drove up on me like this. Um right? Okay. I'm not even gonna tell y'all who's behind the steering wheel because you already know. I'm not gonna even tell y'all because y'all already know the race and the gender in their little Lexus IS that just drove right up on me. You already know who it is, right? But continuing, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, who you're with is political, particularly as a black person, right? And oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So to all the mixed people and light skinned black people in the black community, I know there are black people that look at you sideways or suspiciously, and oftentimes it's because of this. Is your white parent racist and is your black parent anti-black, and that's why they got together and then they had you? And are you only one situation away from saying something that let us know who your people are, what your upbringing is? And that doesn't mean that we don't have fully black people, dark-skinned black people that don't harbor some of these same, you know, resentments and issues also, and they're black while being anti-black to black people. That's true. That's real. But the reason why oftentimes it's light-skinned people that kind of deal with the brunt of this, and you know, black people in interracial relationships, is because oftentimes your representatives are these people. Black women in interracial relationships that sound like this, right? Or Crystal and Karazin with the white dude that called himself an inward lover, right? Right? So yeah. And we're gonna, by the way, this is why Mr. Z has a channel. We're gonna see more of this. It's gonna be very interesting watching black people grapple with the overt in your face concept of other black people, in this case, namely women, who are in interracial relationships, not because they despise themselves or maybe even what they see in the mirror. They don't hate themselves. No, they hate you, right? They hate you. It's not, no, I'm okay with what I see in the mirror. I just hate the opposite sex of my race or of this race, this category that I was forced in. I don't really jive with the opposite sex of this category that I was forced in. And so I will be in an interracial relationship. I will have my mixed children. I will move as far away from these people as humanly possible. And every once in a while, I'll get caught saying something anti-black, or my spouse will be caught saying something, my non-black spouse will be caught saying something anti-black, and I will defend them and say, "Oh no, they're not racist." And society, America, because they're so willing to overlook that, they want an excuse anyway. America be like, "Oh no, that such and such can't be racist. Look, they have a black wife." Right? So it's gonna be very interesting to watch black people grapple with knowing, oh, Candace Owens, right? What Kim Klacik. I mean, come on now. Knowing this person is with this spouse not out of really love, or even if it is love, they worship the ground that this white person walk on because they're white. Knowing they despise you as a black man because you're a black man, right? Their spouse may be occasionally getting caught insinuating, all the dog whistle white politics, and then watching as white society says, no, that person can't be. Like, we know they said the N word and they got caught saying the N word, but they have a black wife. So wait, what shouldn't a stomp down, 10 toes down, white racist dude want to get as far away from black people as humanly possible and not be married to? We can understand if he had sex with a black woman once or twice, but he's married to a black woman, but he hates black people? I don't understand. Yeah, you do understand. It goes back to slavery. Yeah, you do understand. And it actually makes sense. Right? That's why I say sex is also political. Right? What did Francis say on Game of Thrones? Everything in life is about sex except for sex. Sex is about power, or something along those lines. Right? And Detroit says, I tried to warn you, LOL. Yeah, Detroit, because I was, so by the way, so I did get your email. I didn't lose it. So I thought I lost it, but then when I clicked, because I had a couple of emails from you and it was a couple of different videos. So I was like, okay, is it this one? But this was a little bit older. So is it this one? And so when I finally realized what you sent me, um, let me take that back. When you sent me the this email more recently, I was like, okay, so it was the more recent email that he sent me. And so you sent me the clip of it. So I went to the whole video, and then I fast forwarded, I backed up enough to be like, okay, let me see where this is supposed to start. And when they showed the clip the first time, and then I was like, oh, okay. And I let it go on, and then Miss Fantasy Island came in to defend herself, and et cetera, and continuing. So yeah, man, that part, right? So um, yeah, homegirl said the N word with the hard ER, and she has a white spouse. And then she came in to try to defend herself, like she didn't understand what the issue is here. And she was speaking like, in this late date, like, why is it an issue? And I'm happy Angry Man threw it in her face later on. Shout out to Angry Man. You should have known. You know who Angry Man is. Right? Stop playing. Look, either these people think we're really dumb. They gotta think we're really dumb because, like, stop playing with black men's intelligence. You're a black woman in the 21st century, especially with this kind of heightened, gender conflict between black men and black women. You're in an interracial relationship with a white man, and you get caught on a live stream saying the N word with the hard ER around your spouse, and you don't know why there's a problem here? Come on, man, stop. Right? And y'all give me a second. I'm gonna try to order this food real quick. So y'all give me 1 second. Well, it's actually gonna be a couple minutes. So we're gonna take a little break right here. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Mr. Z will be right back. Maybe in like 3-ish, 4-ish minutes, something like that. So let me go order this food real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. No, I did not disappear into the shadow realm. I'm here. I'm here. My bad, y'all. Got caught. I had to run in here trying to make this order, and you know, a guy in front of me. And I'll I'll just say don't do drugs, people. I'll say that. I'll say that. So okay. So let's go with Big Kev's comment. And Big Kev said they do hate themselves. They project it onto black men. There's an argument to be made for that. But I would argue we're getting into a place that there might be some black women in particular. They don't hate themselves. They just hate you. So I'm not. I agree with you that there are definitely black women that hate themselves and they project that onto black men, um, and they really don't like what they see in the mirror. I'm not speaking about those women. I know those women exist. I definitely agree with you that those women exist. But with that are these, right? The no, I just don't like you. I don't like you because you rejected me. I don't like you because I felt unseen in your presence. I don't like you because I'm not getting the outcomes I want from people that look like you. I don't like you. I don't like you so much that I'm willing to harm you or harm those that have your image, right? So I'm not going to completely disagree with you, Big Kev, but I definitely do think that there are black people that just don't like what they see in the mirror. Like you said, they don't like themselves and they'll project that onto the opposite sex, but primarily for sake of this conversation, black women, right, that project this type of self-hate onto black men. But then there's the others that are just like, yeah, I just don't like you as a black man. As a matter of fact, I hate you as a black man, right? And so I will do my very best to get away from you, to talk crap about you, to defecate on you, um, to destroy your image in the public and the public sphere, all of that. Right. So I definitely think that's a thing. So um, and Detroit says black women's in that chat still defending her after she said it. Of course they are. Of course they are. Right. Of course they are. Right. And you know you we will have that. So part of the definition of neoliberalism is constant competition, right? Everything is a competition. And it's not just economic, right? So it's also individuals in groups, right? So this is some of this goes back to the beginning of humanity, right? The competition. But it's been weaponized in a way I don't know if many of us fully understand. And so in that competition, people will pick sides. And when they pick sides, their side can never be wrong. There is no, okay, you might have took it too far. Or girl, yeah, okay, you with the white dude, but now you saying the N-word in his presence online also. You are on a live stream. Emphasis on the word live, right? You are on a live stream and you are caught out there saying the N word with the hard ER, with you not only having a white spouse, but your white spouse, I think they said he wasn't in the room or whatever, but he's in earshot. He's in earshot. And if you saying that and you saying it with the hard ER, and apparently you might have been speaking to him or something along those lines, I'm not certain. I mean, you say that around him and you let him say that. Oh, more importantly, you let him say it. You might even encourage him to say that. Right. So, yeah, it is political. Like I went back to, yeah, it is political. You being in that interracial relationship in this country with this country's history, and then you get caught saying the N word on a live stream, emphasis on the word live. Yeah. So you will be critiqued and people will throw it in your face, rightfully so. Right. And so Big Kev says black men like to live in denial to protect our own egos. Big Kev, I'm not trying to protect my ego. I'm about to pull a Jason Black on you. I have no ego to what he said of to offend or not offend to protect, to inflate or offend, something like that. I do have an ego to offend or inflate. Yeah, whatever, whatever his quote is, I do have an ego, but in this respect, no, it's not me attempting to protect my ego on this one, right? But yeah, so yeah, man, like, look, this lady in Detroit said, "I'm still driving, brother. You was driving last night." On Charles' channel, right? Well, you are a truck driver, so I expect to. Well, I think you're a truck driver because I checked out a couple of your videos. But yeah, right. So that's something to, and this goes back to the spectacle, right? So Fight Club, that channel, that's one of the reasons why I titled this what I did. So our back and forth and our disagreement on a bunch of things, and I'm I'm for black people debating ideas for what's best for the individual black person, and then what's best for us as a group. Even for those of you that swear we're not, it's not up to you. You're not the one who decided whether black people was a group or not. Yikes for you. Shout out to all you black people that actually think you got a choice in the matter. You think you got a choice and whether you're perceived as black or not. uh, right. So, you know, number one. Number two, um, it's political, like I said. Number three, oh, and BGS is in here. Number three, um, you getting caught out there saying the N word with the hard ER while having a white spouse, and then trying to shame others, right? Like they're making a big deal out of it because it's a big deal. Y'all are weird, right? And number four, well, number five, number four. I lost my numbers. Clearly, um, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is like what we're talking. This is the whole, and I'm not calling the young lady a divester. I don't know if she is or a swirler. She could have just been with this white dude just because, whatever. I doubt it, especially after this. Um, but this is what we're talking about, right? This is what we're talking about, right? So, and by the way, I'm gonna leave the link, and I will timestamp it in the description so that people can understand what I'm talking about, just in case you're like, what the hell is Mr. Z speaking about? So y'all could go back and watch that, or maybe watch it. Well, you wouldn't know to watch it before the fact, but yeah, right. And BGS said Jason Black quoting Mr. Spock. Okay. So that's a Star Trek reference. Okay, I did not know that. I've never been I've never been a big Trekkie. I only know like the very. I don't. Yeah, I barely know anything about Star Trek, to be honest. Know a bit more about Star Wars, but not really about Star Trek. Right. And I'm just going through some of the comments. Okay, I thought I saw another one. All right, all right. I don't know. BGS says, so why was she on that panel? I have no idea. Oh yeah, wait. So the topic at hand was would you support a woman president? I think that was what Fight Club was speaking about on that particular episode, right? I think something along those lines, right? BGS said, I have no ego to offend. Right. So, and something I said earlier, I want to bring this back. The spectacle that is the black gender conflict. I want us to be careful with that. in the presence of non-black people. I mean, it can't, to a certain point, it can't be helped because we're having this conversation on the internet for the whole entire world to see. But there's something about this particular conversation for us, especially in like there's no such thing as an anglophone, but the anglophone countries, right? It's like people are getting off watching us in particular in our conflict. Like they don't got a conflict, right? It's so much of like this, ooh, what do black people got going on? Oh, ooh, look, they fighting. Ooh, right? What did he call her? What did he call her? What did she call him? What did she say? What did he like? Yeah, and and then we bring people in to make our point for us, and then yeah, exactly. And BGS is right. Black women will spaz out in public to call attention to them, and this is where the Kim Fosters of the world come in. I understand Obsidian's not saying her name anymore. He's saying his opponent. Respect to that brother. I'm still saying her name, right? Um, and let's call what she's doing out for what she's doing. She's attempting to pull damsel in distress. I don't know. These men are picking on me, right? These sexist, misogynist men are picking on me for no reason. I did nothing, right? She's trying to scare brothers with artist, attorney, and lawyer talk, right? And they speak to the spectacle on top of that. But white daddy, please save me from these Negroes, these barbaric Negroes. And Negroes ain't the word she's using. Right? Save me from them. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, I'm this educated, helpless, hapless black woman. I've accomplished the highest heights. And look, these black men are jealous of me. They're targeting me. What did the porn girl say? We're targeting her. You're targeting me. Right? And Big Kev, thank you for the super chat. Big Kev said, we're trying a truce award that they started. True. True indeed. Right? And yeah, I actually agree with you on that one. I don't have any disagreements. Brothers are trying to calm it down, right? Because at the end of the day, the ones that's really, I'm not talking about just the hurt heart. I want to say hurt heart hoes. I'm gonna say it, hurt heart hoes. The hurt heart hoes. Yeah, they just mad about who didn't want them. But then there's the others that actually like they get off on it. Like they get off on seeing you hurt because they felt like they've been hurt, right? You ignoring them or you not finding them attractive back in the day, they're so butthurt about that. They're so butthurt about the one boyfriend that drove their car and brought him back with no gas, which was her choice to pick that dude in the first place. They're so hurt about that. Yeah, you're right. They want to see you hurt, and brothers know that. And some of us are trying to call truce because we know that particular type of black woman's end goal is to see you really murdered by the state. Really, they really want the state to they want proxy violence. She can't do it herself. She don't got the ovaries. So she want another man to do it, or she wants the state to do it to regulate you, black man. Right? Oh, y'all never heard Mr. Z say hurt heart hoes before? I thought I said it online before. Right? Because that's what a lot of just listen to some of the sisters talk. Let them talk long enough because they start off with the political talk, right? They start off with the Malcolm X talk, right? They're the least protected. Okay, all right. They start off like that. They start off with intersectionality. They start off like that. You let them talk long enough, and then they start talking to you about all the horrible dates. Okay, now we get into the real stuff. This is your real issue. The men that don't find them attractive, black men, right? Now we get into the real nitty gritty. Then we're going to end up when you were 14, 15, 16, 17, or 18 years old. Now we're where the real issue is. Now we're where the real issue is. Let them talk long enough. That's why I call them that. It's not a pejorative just for sake of being a pejorative, right? And Kevin C, thank you for the super sticker, right? And Terrell said that proxy gets them panties dripping. For some, yes. For some, it's not real. And living in the era of the spectacle, there are black people that's fully willing to put the gender conflict on Front Street for a couple of dollars, for some pat on the head, for some sympathy penis from some white guy. And I'm talking about some of the men too. Shout out to Themis. Right? Some of them are willing to do that. Right? And I'm gonna pause right here. Let me go see if that. Well, actually, maybe I didn't even see what time it was when I got back over. I'll give it a couple more minutes. But yeah, so we're living in the era of spectacle, and people are willing to sell everything. We already know people are willing to sell themselves. Now they're willing to sell their emotions, their sentiment, their gripes, their issues, sell you, sell the children, sell everything. Their soul, right? You willing to put your heart on Front Street for a couple of dollars, or for a pat on the head, or for some attention. And yes, it's also mixed with the attention economy. I actually might want to do a live stream on the attention economy. That might be coming soon, right? And shout out, so Medium Man. So I didn't know that was his name. You ever click on the channel and you watch something and then you don't really catch the person's name, or you didn't really pay attention? So I saw his stuff before, but I'm just now realizing that that's the person that y'all sent me to a few days ago, right? And thank you, Detroit. Black femicide is making that a point exactly. And I think I saw a comment from you. You said you drop 600 hours a week or something crazy. I didn't even know that. Let me see. You said 600 something. You said something about something hours or something. Miles. Did you say miles? You might have said miles a day. I think you might have said 600 miles a day. I glanced at it. I didn't really focus. No, I can't find the comment. Of course not. Right? And PK says, well, humans are a commodity and the engine that fuels the mix of capitalism. After all, exactly. It's a part of the game. It's a symptom, not the cause. I agree. Oh yeah, 600 miles a day. Okay, yeah, that's what you said. Okay. Oh yeah, these guys, I see him breaking it down. And by the way, so I should have said this also. So Shay also covered that whole DV and rate also, right? She's the one who brought it to my attention that pretty much black women are dying from like food and diet related causes. For the most part, like I think outside of one particular age cohort of black women, right? Like it's all diet related. Like the top 10 causes of their death is like food and diet related, right? So like Medium Man and like Shay are like they put in the work along with others, right? But you know, with all of the information that we've put out there over the past decade or so, all that we've seen is that these people will continue to move the goalposts because they don't actually stand. They just want to vent and rage out because they don't like their position in the society or they don't like the way they look. That's all this is. And the more information we put out, the more we put their back to the wall. And that's where you get Cynthia G. Where they just finally say, okay, you know what? Just abort black males. Just screw it. Right? That's where you get wasn't that vested zealot that was on the on that Clubhouse, and that was saying how she get off, or one of her people was saying that she get off on watching white men of power, manhandle black men, white cops and manhandle. So like you get that type of rhetoric when you put their back to the wall, right? When you finally say, okay, you've been lying. Here's all the information about the fact that you've been lying. All the data that shows that you've been exaggerating at best. At best, you've been exaggerating, right? But for the most part, straight up lying, right? And finally, when that type of information come out, they just say, you know what? Literally throw the baby out with the bathwater. Literally, right? So y'all give me a second. I will be right back. Let me go get this food real quick, and y'all talk amongst yourselves. I just glanced down and Tampa Bong over here just going in with the numbers. Tampa Bong said, I got him. I got the info, Mr. Z. Right? But that goes to, and like, Paris Milan and her whole femicide campaign, and like, yeah, because that's what brothers are doing. Brothers are saying, you know what I'm gonna do this morning? I'm gonna go murk me a black woman. That's what I'm gonna do. Right? Black women are they're so little to me that I'm going to go out hunting black women. But then why is the murder rate amongst black men so high then? Oh wow. Oh, there you go. And we were hunting black women, then we doing a horrible job. Oh wait, I forgot, we're dumb. But we're doing a horrible job at killing black women and not black men. Oh, y'all talking points are horrific. Y'all gotta come up with better. You gotta come up with better rhetoric. This is horrible. You're bad that you thought that black men were never gonna respond. Right? You're bad. Right? And Meteor Man, I said Meteor. Why do I want to say Meteor Man so bad? Meteor Man really did his work. He did his work. And I like the way he presented the information also. Right? Good job. Great job, actually. Right? But yeah, so but once again, spectacle. And there are people that are putting on a show for white audience. This is why I often mention these particular highly educated, professional, petite bourgeoisie black women, right? That's why I mentioned them. That's why I mentioned the professional managerial class, particularly black women that occupy that space, because they get their coins, they get their position off of air quotes blackness right? While doing nothing for black men except lecturing down to them. They get some of their coins from saying how horrible black men are. And then they get some of their coins for speaking about how put upon black people are, particularly black women. Right? These people are the worst. The worst, I tell you. Right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. And I'm not gonna belabor the point today. I just want to, I want to do Detroit a solid. Detroit is like Z, right? Like Z, I need you to look this up. And yeah, so I saw what you saw, brother. And thank you for sending that to me. That only further proves the point. Further proves the point, and further illustrates the point that this is what these people are about. Because maybe this is these people kind of backdoor way into like white femininity that they've always wanted, right? These particular type of black women, because like, look, she's saying the N word with the hard ER, she got the white spouse, so this is the goal, right? And yet they say we as black men end up with the white woman because we're mad that we're not the white man, and we want to take the white man's prize, so we chase after white women. Meanwhile, uh somebody, Dr. Umar, explain this. It's funny because on the clip, the brother got Dr. Umar at the end. I beg your pardon. But for real, Dr. Umar, explain this, or are you going to find some backwards way of still blaming black men for this? Right? I mean, you did give Cynthia G a pass for looking you dead in the face and saying, abort black male sons. You did give her a pass for that. So, I mean, I guess. Right? Well, y'all wild. Y'all are wild. And look, everyone here, like I told y'all, if y'all see Mr. Z going too far off the reservation, if you start hearing Mr. Z not say F this one in particular black woman, if you start hearing Mr. Z say F black women, y'all pull Mr. Z coattails. Because that's not me. That's never been me. These other people, on the other hand, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all, wow. Right? That's crazy. If you start hearing Mr. Z say some weird eugenics thing, if you hear Mr. Z, like, I'm glad that Shay brought on the young lady, the white young lady, Laura, when she brought her on, because that got to show you, like, if y'all see Mr. Z start being like, yeah, I don't F with these black women in front of a white woman, y'all know that ain't me. So it's probably a deep fake or something. Right? So yeah. Y'all go ahead, y'all start typing in the comments, hey, what did happen to Mr. Z? For all the brothers that have channels, be like, Z, this ain't you, bro. This ain't you. Where your mama? I'm gonna let your mama know you out here. out here saying F black women. Where your dad at? Right? Because that's not me. So these people are weird. Saying the N word with the hard ER in white people's presence. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Shame. Shame. We need to bring back shame for real. I'm with the conservatives on that one. I'm with y'all 100% on that one. That one I'm with y'all on. We need to bring back shame. Right? We need to start walking these people through the middle of the streets like Cersei and just shame. Get a couple of tomatoes thrown at your ass. Right? And Tampa Bong says, appreciate your perspective. Always informative. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Wow. My God. Jesus Christ. And you know what, Trell? We might have to go down the hip hop rabbit hole. And I might have to dedicate actual Black Manosphere show of the week to, I'm gonna have to use this liberal terminology, problematic quotes that came from hip hop. And I know for, oh my god, I know y'all gonna have quotes for days. And I'm talking about like not only the violent stuff because that's hip hop, right? It's not all of hip hop, obviously, but it's a part of hip hop. But also like the hyper capitalist neoliberal shit, the maybe even some of the questionable stuff, right? Rest in peace, Biggie. Um, you look so good. What? What did you just say, Mr. Wallace? Right. So we might have to. I might have to dedicate a whole, like, you know. Yeah, I might have to do that. Dedicate a whole Black Manosphere show of the week to like problematic hip hop quotes, right? Including, and like Trell Bentley says, for those of you that are listening and you can't look at the screen, Trell Bentley says in quotes, "I don't know you niggas. I don't fuck with you niggas." And yeah, we might have to. Yeah, we might have to start talking about. And you have the music symbols behind it. We might have to talk about problematic hip hop quotes. Yeah, and that's gonna be. Oh my god. How long is that list gonna be? 10 years later, right? Look, if we start mentioning all the problematic quotes from Biggie, we'll be here for a while, right? So I'll end it out right here. Dr. Thunder probably be starting a live soon if he hasn't already. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black and Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Um, and I want us, like I said, I want us to be careful of doing too much for the white folks, right? The spectacle, just be doing too much, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, yeah, niggas be doing too much, right? And like, and for those brothers and sisters that's in interracial relationships, like, I don't know about giving your spouse passes to say and do everything, and I don't know if you should be saying everything in front of. I mean, like, this is your spouse. I get it, right? But like the N word with the hard ER in front of the white dude, and then you get mad when people throw it in your face because it's a problem. Because it's a problem, right? Right? Better you with the Nas line. You owe me something. Pay me back like you owe tax, right? So yeah, I'll truly pause right here. And thank you, Detroit, for that email. And it just further proves our point. We need to just start compiling all of these people, and I'll just put it on a reel, send it to Compassionate and Callous, and just have them just show all the quotes and all the people that done said the white worship stuff, right? All the women that done said the white worship stuff, or allowed their white spouse to say something like insanely racist in their presence and not check that person, right? So yeah. And I'll end out with PK's quote. And PK said, much like after the Civil War, we did not completely pull the weed out by the roots, excuse me. You have to eradicate it entirely and totally. I agree. I agree 100. I agree 100. Right. And Oliver Gray, thank you for the super sticker. Yeah, man. Look, this thing is ridiculous. This man. And I think was it, and shout out to Jason Black for this. It was either Jason Black or was it Professor Black Truth? One of them spoke about that, right? Like leaving the plantation, and then like the sellouts and the coons left the plantation too, right? Like, so, Yeah, you're definitely right about that one, PK. And we'll end it out there. I'll attempt to send it to her. I'll send it to her. And Detroit says, "Can you show this to Shay?" I'll send it to her, right? And I'll end out right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all morning. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, so y'all don't sound like these people. So y'all don't sound like this young lady. What's her name? Fantasy Island. Like she really think because we in the 21st century, this race stuff don't matter no more. Huh? You wish. Anyway, we'll end it out there. All right, everybody.